From the studios of UPN 8, this is One on One with Jeff Lytle.
Welcome to our viewers on UPN 8 and CN 35 and our listeners on the radio at Wink, WNOG AM. I'm Jeff Lytle from the Naples and Bonita Daily News, and for the next half hour, we'll talk to the property appraiser from Lee County. He's also the father of Save Our Homes, and that's the context we're going to start. His name is Ken Wilkinson. Welcome back, and as always, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for asking, Jeff.
It's been a couple years.
It has.
Too many years.
You still have your hair.
Well, the lights here make it gray once in a while. I have to do something about that. Hey, Save Our Homes, big success since you engineered it in 1992.
Right. That was the year that it was voted in. The base year was in '95, and I couldn't be prouder of the successes of it, quite frankly.
What it does is it gives a big break to people to homesteads.
Well, true. Essentially, what it does is it allows them to stay in their home and be their choice if they want to move, and not the government's choice to force them out because of higher taxes. If we didn't have that today, what, 12, 15 years later, I can't imagine our society, what troubles we'd have.
You thought it was a good idea back then, but knowing what we know now, oh man.
Beyond our expectations, to be truthful. But it has created that other problem that I think we're going to address. I hope we do, and that's portability.
Let's go to portability, because I need to tell you, as you know, I and our editorial board, we're from Missouri on this one. We like Save Our Homes.
Correct. You were big supporters of ours.
Yes, since day one. But the portability concerns us for the reason is it seems to us that whenever you start to tinker with a goods, one of the beauties of Save Our Homes is that it's simple. It's direct. It's black and white. Everybody can understand it. But once you start to tinker with it and fine-tune it, can be when things start to unravel, and it'll be deemed unconstitutional for some reason, and we'll lose a good thing. Okay.
I think we've addressed some of those issues. I do have the same concerns, a little differently. If the citizens don't do it, then it's up to the legislature. And we saw in this last session, because it is getting popular, that mainly, I think, because the negative of Save Our Homes can't be applied because the negative didn't come true. So they can't use that as an argument. So the legislature now, but the problem is we got the bill in, our Senator Saunders put it in, very workable, but when it gets up there, it comes out all kinds of hybrids. We have 10 different versions. But if the citizens write it, and we are, again, forming, it's not official, but we're looking at writing the initiative so that it comes out in its purest form, it is not going to cause problems.
What you mean is, if the legislature doesn't do it soon,
correct,
the people will.
Yes.
In other words, we're back to back to the constitutional amendment.
And
referendum.
I think if myself and others who really truly understand Save Our Homes and have that experience, that this can be written so it'll do nothing but benefit.
Okay. Now, fundamentals. How portable would you like to see Save Our Homes?
Okay. And I think your issue is in-state versus county to county, that type issues.
Okay, we're not. Yes.
Okay. Look, maybe if I get a little broader. Obviously, the appraisers in Florida have to administer this. That's why I'm hopeful I can be appointed by the governor to the committee that's studying it right now. That's what came out of the legislature. That's one issue I'm hoping to get into. There is a way to do it that even can be applied statewide. The same concept is percentages. The theory that we're working on is, let's assume that I could sell a property that's homesteaded in Florida for $400,000. To keep it simple, let's say the cap represents 50% of that, based on the sale. Whatever the cap represents in a percentage, you can take that percentage with you. To replace the $400,000, just comparable, you'd probably have to spend $800,000 in Lee County. So your cap would be $400,000.
But what's the taxable value of that $400,000 property?
Well, whatever. See, it's based on the sale of the property you're selling, the sale that you're paying. Then whatever the market value comes up, whatever county that appraiser comes up with that value, the percentage that you're taking with you will be the cap. That represented the percentage on the property you're selling. Morris, it's equitable that way. Percentages don't discriminate. We're not talking about being able to take all your savings with you and you never pay taxes if you move to Union, Bradford, Levy, Lafayette, Dixie counties don't have the same tax base.
Right.
They will get more government money. What a lot of people aren't looking at is in Florida, we pay 70 cents per $100 of a sale. That's a huge dock stamp. That's a revenue stream for government. It's huge. The bubble is bursting in real estate. This is an economic stimulator, Jeff, that we've never seen before. The timing is perfect. I'd love to come to the editorial board. You had me down 15 years ago.
You're talking to one of the members now.
I understand that.
Okay, but please, let's make it even more fundamental.
Okay.
Let's take it, use round numbers.
Okay.
Let's say that I bought a house 5 years ago for $100,000. We'll start there. Since
Did it have
then,
running water and electric then?
just to use round numbers,
Okay, I'm
okay?
teasing.
These days it wouldn't. Okay, so in the past 5 years, the value has doubled.
Easily.
Okay, the market value.
Correct.
But the taxable value has stayed almost the same thanks to Save Our Homes.
Correct, 3% a year, basic numbers.
Yes. Now, so if I'm able to sell that for $200,000 and move elsewhere, assuming I can find somewhere else I can afford,
Right.
either in Collier County, Lee County, or elsewhere in Florida, what do I get to take with
Right.
me?
Whatever, where you leave, whatever the cap you currently enjoyed as a percentage of the sale that you sell the property. If it's 50%, if you sold it for $200,000 but you only paid taxes on $100,000,
Yes.
that's 50%. The cap represents 50% of that sale. Then wherever you go, based on the sale, you automatically qualify for a 50% cap of that new market.
Let's say that the house I want to buy is $500,000.
Then you would have a cap of 250. But you'd be paying new taxes on 250, where you were only paying taxes on 50 before. So your taxes go up at least double, but not 4 times. So it's more revenue. Then you have to consider whoever is buying your property, statistically, is an immigrant. They come in at market value.
Yes, they do.
So there's a whole, because one of the always argument of government is, and automatically the Florida League of Cities came out, the county commission is opposed to these. That's their automatic reaction. In this case, they're wrong, and I can prove it as an economic stimulator. If the new person buying your property goes to market, there's a revenue stream. If when you take your portability,
But that happens
it's not
now.
100%.
But that happens now.
Not if they're not selling because of lack of portability. I can't sell. My taxes in Lee County, because I live at Point Royal in a condo, currently I'm paying around $3,200. Comparable unit down the street, I'm watching them get built. My unit's 25 years old. I mean, a lot of maintenance and stuff that I'm thinking new. I would have to replace mine, not upgrade. Same level, same square footage. It cost me $800,000. Let's say I could sell mine for 4. Let's say I'm paying taxes on 2. That's 50%. I'd pay new taxes on 4, which doubles what I'm paying. But without portability, I can't make that move. My taxes go from $3,200 to $16,000 because we're a 2% effective tax rate. Now it would go to 8 in round numbers. We want to try to keep it simple. So I'm paying extra on that, but not to where it's going to full market as far as taxes, which I can't afford. The other I can afford. This one I couldn't. It's such a winner. It's easier to explain than Save Our Homes was. Because all the negative against Save Our Homes, you know what the biggest negatives were? Government wasn't going to get its money. You see any poor governments lately? You know? The Florida Association of Realtors, they're big. They were the biggest private group that fought this. Would destroy the real estate market. Hello? We got the strongest real estate market in the last 5 years in history. You know? So the arguments they used didn't come true.
There was another argument that Save Our Homes, by capping effectively homestead values,
Correct.
would spill over and really sock it to the commercial property.
Let me explain.
Just asking, has that come true?
No, and I'll tell you why. First of all, we didn't cap commercial property because it, along with vacant properties, benefit from growth. Growth is the problem because prior to Save Our Homes, whatever somebody was willing to move into our neighborhoods, the value or the price they paid created the value in taxes for everybody. That was wrong. We've proven that. But we didn't cap commercial property because it benefits from growth. Growth is people coming here. We're getting 30,000 people a year in Lee County. That means commercial property has more people to sell its product to. And this works for other properties. The only person that wasn't benefiting from growth is the homesteader, the permanent homeowner. So we capped them. That all worked. As far as a shift of burden, it's not proven true. I've been in office 25 years. I went back to 1980, I did a spreadsheet. Values, increases, and the millage. Back in 1980, the average millage in Lee County was 18.7 something. Today, 25 years later, it's 18.5 something. They don't reduce the millage. We all know that. It's historical. So without Sabre Homes, the only difference is the homeowner's paying that much more. These other guys aren't paying less.
So what you're
They're
saying
paying a
is,
bigger percentage.
So what you're saying is that
You know I love this.
Yeah, yes, I do know. But to make sure I have this right, that,
Okay.
that even if the homesteads had not been protected,
Correct.
okay, if there had been no Save Our Homes, the millage rate would have been the same.
The proof is there. 25 years they've done this. And it's so great for government because they tell the public at budget time, which the press reports on, you should be proud of us. We held the line on tax but didn't raise the millage. It's a lie.
Well, let me ask you, how portable should your ultimate
Our
portability
goal,
product be? Should it be statewide or just within each county?
my first blush on this when it started and I was getting more involved in it was the one negative that initially I couldn't counter until I really got my mind around it was that, well, why should we in Southwest Florida that is experiencing all this growth and high values be able to cash out and not pay taxes in Union, Bradford, Levy, Lafayette, Dixie's county, small county.
We're talking about counties up
Central
northern
Florida, et cetera.
where you could buy a home for a lot less here.
Oh, you could probably cash out and
could
take
cash-
your equity, pay full cash,
Right.
in some versions of portability now pay taxes. Our version doesn't do that.
Correct. Okay. You go the
Since
percentage
it's a
route.
percentage, it doesn't matter. They're still going to get more money in their tax base. I
So
figured
that's
it out.
okay. So that's the answer.
So-
rather than
But at
lump
first-
sum value, it's
Right.
percentage.
Percentage is the key. Plus, the appraisers have to administer this. If we couldn't use the percentage basis, I don't know how, because I'd have to know their market value they're coming from. They'd have to know my market value as to the appraisers up there. And it can always be done, but it was a negative I couldn't overcome, but the percentage overcomes that negative.
Are the realtors aboard?
Yes, they are.
The Florida
Yes.
Association?
Florida Association of Realtors, myself, Representative Domino from the East Coast, who put the bill in the House. We went to their last annual meeting and with one of their top committees, and they have since endorsed the concept, which is a tremendous...
Oh, yeah, but adopting the concept, and
Well, now we're working out the nitty-gritty.
that's where
And I'm
the
convinced
trouble always is.
if we have to end up writing it, which means the legislature can't change a word of it, if we end up writing it, I think based on this percentage, that everybody wins. And I feel as strongly about this, if not stronger,
How about
at the timing and everything, that portability will finish the whole pie and everybody wins.
How about the Florida home builders?